Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT news and plenty to dive into today with a major update as to what Gambit are going to be up to and being forced into over these coming weeks here in the VCT. Seangares also released from the casting talent going into Masters. Potentially a coaching opportunity might have opened itself up somewhere. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Firstly, this then from Gambit. I mentioned this in the pinned comment of yesterday's video just because it kind of got announced after I made the original one. But yes, as they describe, this continues to be a very difficult time for everyone. I guess they don't want to say too many specifics here in this announcement because as a Russian organization, politically they probably have to kind of tiptoe around things. But as they say, not least for all of us with family and friends living in Ukraine, during this time, esports can continue to serve fans from many different countries and cultures, and we sincerely wish for tournaments to continue and players to focus on competition and sportsmanship. We have therefore taken the decision to empower our players Redguard, Chronicle, Dephh, Shados and Nats to take part in the upcoming VCT competition as an independent team. We wish them the best, all this type of stuff. Some interesting, right? I did wonder what was going to happen here because Gambit, again, their matches got delayed. At one time, the best team in the world made the grand finals of champions. Redguard comes out and says our neutral team name M3C. So I guess like Masters 3 Champs or whatever they're going for here exactly. But yes, that's what they're going to compete as. So they're no longer going to be Gambit. They're still going to be the same squad. Of course, I'm sure a difficult time for a lot of these guys personally with all that is going on back home. But yeah, I imagine their matches are going to come up rather soon indeed. They still have a decently difficult time ahead of them to make sure they qualify here for the playoffs, which of course is going to be necessary. But they shall no longer be Gambit, right? It does depend how the future goes on this front, whether Gambit can actually come back into Valorant, try and pick up these guys, or if another organization comes in and says, well, hang on a second, you guys, you're not representing Gambit anymore, why don't we just come and, pick you up to our organization? Then again, I think that would be a bit of a risk, right, but due to the possibility of the whole visa stuff, right, and whether these guys are actually going to play at international lands anyway. Still many questions in the air, but that, of course, is the latest update from the Gambit side. Let's talk about this then, because to me, I thought this is incredibly surprising when I saw this last night, because to me, watching these VCT games, I have the best time watching when it's DDK and Seangares casting. I think they do a fantastic job. They pair together perfectly, but Seangares seemingly told several days ago, I received the heartbreaking news that I did not make the talent cut for Masters 1 in Reykjavik. After receiving the news, I've decided to focus on getting more involved in the competitive scene and will no longer be accepting broadcast talent positions. So this is quite something, right? It seems like a Riot, once again, I don't really know too much of Riot's history with dealing with talent in League of Legends, but I've heard plenty of stories about the way Riot kind of deal with their talent, right, and play games really with their talent, and having this guy here and this guy here, just to kind of, I don't know exactly why they do this type of stuff. But anyway, Seangares, despite, I think, maybe objectively, obviously it's subjective, but I don't know, from my perspective, he was one of the best, if not the best, color casters and analysts in the entire game. Certainly the one that I had the most enjoyment listening to. He's not going to be there at Masters. So he says, look, well, screw you guys, I'm out of here, I'm going to do my own thing. Because there has been a lot of talent in CSGO, for example, YNK or Yanko, he was an analyst for a time, then he went to actually be an analyst for a proper team, for FaZe, for other organizations as well, I think for a time, then he's going to be back on the desk. There's all these different ways you can make this work as a guy in Seangares' position, being a legendary in-game leader in Counter-Strike, coming into Valorant and doing great things on the talent front, at least for now. Goes on to say this, I've discussed my decision with Riot, and they were kind enough to accept it and amicably part ways. I will have more news soon, he says. So, what could this potentially mean? What does he want to do? Is he going to be a coach? Is he going to be an analyst for a team? Is he going to be an in-game leader? Right? Is he going to come back as a player? That seems the most unlikely of the three options. Because, it's even Soulcat says pretty much a lot of support coming out from the community here. I just want Seangares and DDK to cast every Valorant match ever, which I'd be down for, to be honest. I think they're the best of the bunch, to be perfectly honest. Odorous does this as well for Ambox. Seangares and DDK easily the best casting duo. This also for Mixwell as well. He was the best analyst by far. Riot will regret this because, of course, Seangares is well, look, if you're going to disrespect me like this, I'm not even going to bother to be a talent anymore and sit on the sidelines. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. And credit to him doing so. This even got some traction outside of the immediate Valorant scene. Richard Lewis was saying, all the games and stuff that Riot play with the talented Valorant is disgusting, and now they lost a real star because of it. Grow up with your Game of Thrones BS, he says. Some interesting stuff. Now, what is the possibility for Seangares to go on to do next? Because a few days ago, of course, we heard that Raucus is no longer going to be coaching Sentinels, so they need a new coach for the team. And it seems like, honestly, a new coach is probably a good idea for what Sentinels needs. Seem, more undisciplined, let's just say, than some of the other North American teams. If they get that on board, they certainly have the talent to still compete and win titles, but right now they're certainly not even a favorite, to be honest, in a lot of people's eyes, to make it out of the playoffs and through to Masters. So, well, anyway, Sentinels need a coach. The interesting thing about this is that Seangares has a lot of history with the players on the Sentinels roster. If we look back on HLTV, this is going back to 2015. There was a brief period of time where Seangares and ShahZaM were both on Cloud9, and Seangares was kind of the in-game leader when ShahZaM first had his come up in Counter-Strike. This also on the Misfits team from 2017 through to 2018 when Seangares was here along with ShahZaM and with Sick as well. This of course during the days where they all played Counter-Strike. Since then Valorant had come out and well they've gone over there as well. But these guys I believe are very close. They get on very well. So you know, you do have to think it's a decent possibility that Sentinels, if they do want a new coach, Sean might well be that guy. Now ShahZaM actually has a few words to say on this on stream last night. I'll share for you guys here on screen. Now especially interesting really because Sean of course said that it was a few days ago he got this news, and now ShahZaM is saying that it's been kind of a few days really that they've had this in the works to try and get this new coach. He just goes to him as a he, so at least there's that part of things locked in. But yeah, he reckons they've got a coach locked in, ready to go, just didn't get everything quite signed before their V1 game. But yeah, who could it possibly be?
Is the search for a coach going better than before? Yeah, hopefully we're locking him in before playoffs. Yeah, trying to lock him in before playoffs. Already have a coach, just couldn't get him in locked in before this match.
So we'll see how this goes in the coming days, but it seems like a reasonable chance. They could have a guy like Kaplan, right? Could have brought him on for Ghost. There's some other options there, and maybe if they've been working on this for quite some time. But with the relationship that Sean and the Sentinels guys have, and just the fact that he seems to have known for quite some time now this was coming, maybe, like, it's possible they got this in the works. Speaking real quick of version 1, the team that vanquished Sentinels just a couple of days ago, this is at, what, 1.6 sensitivity, 800 DPI, looks like by Whippy. I can't believe he actually plays like this. Look how small this mouse pad is. Like his poor fingers, man, honestly. It is painful to look at, and then his mouse pad is just hanging off the desk. So I mean, yeah, this apparently is what peak performance looks like. But speaking of Xander, this he has a few interesting words to say in their post-game interview, right, when he effectively said, look, we're going to be strong heading into the playoffs, especially against LG. We don't see them as that much of a threat. Like, you know, of course, look, I still have faith in version 1 to take down LG, but every single time that I've seen one of these articles before, like, something goes wrong. When you're kind of talking like this, we're going to destroy everyone. Pretty much, I think I've seen a few articles that I've covered on this channel over the last few months, and every single time a team says something like this going into a tournament, they end up getting first rounded or something goes wrong. So we shall see. Version 1, I guess, are the number 2 favorites right now behind Cloud9 to be that kind of Cloud9 version 1. Those seem to be the 2 favorites in most people's eyes to make it out of the playoffs and get through to Masters in North America. But yes, he says they're going to destroy everyone right here. I like the confidence. Is it going to backfire? That question remains to be seen. Speaking though of version 1, because statistically it's pretty absurd the level that these guys are playing at. Right here, if you organize all the players in North America by cast, so this is a percentage-based statistic really. This is the percentage of rounds that the player either gets a kill, an assist, survives the round, or gets traded, as in the player that kills them then goes on to die from one of their teammates. So if you look at this percentage, anything like 75% and above is very respectable, like a pretty good number. Anything like, well, here and above is very impressive. 80% plus is pretty spectacular, to be honest. If you look at the top 3 players here, all of them are version 1. FE's, Penny, and Xander. 81%, 79%, 79%, and all the version 1 guys are on this list. So Zelsis and even Whippy down at 77. So it just goes to show the fundamental, like, fantastic style that V1 play, that they're able to get all of their players in the top 10 in North America on cast. Like, a very impressive statistic. These, of course, are the 8 teams. Very much intrigued to hear your perspective on which of these 8 will actually make it all the way through. As I say, the 2 favorites right now, arguably, are version 1 and Cloud9. But at Celt, you've got the Guard there, you've got Sentinels there, Optica here as well. Like, it's going to be very tough. I think there's at least, like, 5 teams, realistically, that could make it out. And you could possibly even throw Exit in there as well as the 6. So I think it's going to be an absolute battle this upcoming playoffs, especially because it's online as well. This also just quite interesting regular season ACS rankings. Leaf from Cloud9, Penny, like, you do very much see, well, similar players rising to the top of these lists. But yeah, the top 4, for example, all from different teams. Leaf from Cloud9, Penny from version 1, Trent, of course, from the Guard, Ye from Optic. Cryo sneaks in here as well from Xed. You've got Banned from the Knights, Asuna from 100 Thieves. Of course, didn't quite make it to playoffs, but yeah, difficult time on that front. And just to finish up with these stats as well, a pretty similar thing, to be honest. Rated players, rather similar to ACS, but it goes, well, down a similar order. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. What do you think is going to go on with Seangares? Is he going to join over at Sentinels as a coach? Is he going to go and do something else? And are these fighting words from Xander and the version 1 guys going to backfire on them when it comes to the playoffs? But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, tell us a YouTube god, this is a good video, others like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
You drone first. Top Gen clear. I didn't see him, Gen. I got up.
One enemy remaining.
Sheesh. Dropping.
And Raze. They are flanking. Wait, Raze is spawn.
Goodbye, everybody.
Last player standing. guard Trent moment.
What the f?
I mean, I don't want to.
What
The front page of Reddit now. He's like spray transferring in.
What the f? Oh my god.